What's up, everybody? It's already Tuesday. We got Matt in the
Howdy.
house. What about that? We got enough energy on the screen.
Yep, he don't need coffee.
There's probably more energy on the screen that's allowed by law, so y'all just look the other way. So Matt's comes natural. Mine is drug induced. So, But anyway, and then we got Felix here to keep us straight. But anyway, y'all believe it's already Tuesday? We blew through a weekend and Monday's done gone, and wow, it's done Tuesday morning. This is our long day. We have a morning show and a night show. So tonight we are going to have Journey with the Gingers on with us. So that'll be fun, I'm sure. And so, but today we're going to have Matt's RV reviews. He is in the house. What about that? And
what's going on, everybody?
He's going to hang out with us a little while. Let's see who's in the house before we get too carried away and give everybody a chance to get in here. It usually takes a few minutes. All the other shows sign off. So we got Nursing Our Travel Bugs. Looks like they were first in the house. Bill is with it this morning. Bob's Adventure. Hey, Bob's Adventure is a new member this morning. We appreciate that, Bob. Bob's also our Epidemic sponsor, and he is also a Patreon member. So rock on to Bob's Adventure. And, man, I'm loving the name being back because that's all I knew you by was Bob's Adventure. So when you changed your name, I'm like, Bob's Adventure. And they're like, no, that's not his channel name. And so I had to get corrected a lot. But love it, Bob. Great having you. Love that you've used all the emojis as well. So
yeah.
Chasing America is in the house. Shannon Craft is here. Happy Place Camping is not only in the house, but she is in the house taking care of these two yahoos up on the screen. And Meemaws Matters is here.
Can I give a special shout out to Meemaws Matters?
Yes.
She got her Coachman Pursuit from me in Ocala, Florida.
Oh, cool.
Speaking of, I know she lives in Virginia, and I hope she is coming to the meet and greet tonight that I'm having in Virginia.
Good deal. Maybe she knows about that. Maybe she's going to be there. That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
So, did I say Chasing America? There's Chasing America. Boondocking with Boomer is here. So Boondocking with Boomer sent you a message, said, hey, Matt, it's Lance from Canada. How's it going, buddy?
Howdy. How's it going?
I guess you know who that is?
Nope.
Lance? Okay.
It's very nice to meet you.
Well, he got his chat shouted out anyway, didn't he? So, let's see. Let's go down.
Okay.
Kenneth Oates is in the house. Hey, Kenneth Oates. I hope you're feeling better. I was up at 4:30 this morning, and Kenneth Oates had done been up sick. So I read that, so he wasn't feeling too good. James Catniece is in the house. Artist on the Road is here. Pam Eves. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It may be wrong, but
that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. So everybody on my channel knows I can't read, I can't speak, I can't pronounce, and I do good just to show up. But I can do something good, and that's put away the caffeine. So I asked Matt as soon as we come into the green room this morning, I said, Matt, so how many cups of coffee you drink a day? He's like, don't drink coffee. And
Nope.
so once he told me that, I realized that medically he probably didn't need to drink any coffee. Because we all know, everybody that knows Matt knows that he's wound up more than anybody that would drink coffee is. And so I love that about him. And I think that draws people to your channel as well. So
Thank you.
So I've always, I'm not there every day watching your videos, but what draws me to it is I like happy people and I like energetic people. I don't like suit and tie people. I don't buy stuff from suit and tie people. That's their deal. They can do it. People may like that, but that's not me.
That's what it's all about. Self-awareness. Same with me. You know, when I was coming up, I didn't go to college. I didn't like school and all that. And I went ahead and I still found myself in a suit and tie type of job, right? Because I thought that was what people would want in society, right? And you know, I hated it. I love selling RVs. I love being in the RV industry. I love wearing, you know, I wear a polo. which I love that. And I'm a polo and khaki pants type of guy, and I just love it.
Well, something that I guess me and you have a little bit in common. You embrace what people remember about you. Like they may laugh at you about it, but you're the commode guy, and you embrace that with all your products and stuff. And I tell people they kid me about curly dogs. I embrace that. They kid me about it, but I embrace things they kid me about because it brings attention to your channel, and you're a prime example. Matt, for those that don't know, need to go over and watch his videos. But Matt took his YouTube career and made it a full-time career. And
it's now a full-time job. Yep.
Yeah, full-time. He went from Matt being Matt, as I always say, you be you, embrace the things that people remember you about, and have fun doing it. And,
yep. Thank you.
Yeah, you're a prime example of that. But so tell everybody about the commode recognition you have. What got that started,
so I don't even remember how it started. So, well, I remember the first video that it started on, right? So here's what happened. So my channel has some evolution to it, and it was once called Matt at Leo's Vacation Center. That was the dealership that I worked at, and then it changed to Matt's RV Reviews. But I remember I did a Thor Vegas 27.7, and I was talking about the toilet placement. I was like, man, this is a good placement, because I went in another RV that was really similar to that, and I had to poop with the door open because it wasn't in a good placement, right? And I was like, literally, at this angle, it's a good placement. At this angle, it's a bad placement because my knee was hitting the door. And that was my first viral video. And I say viral, and I mean RV viral. It had like 50,000 views. And at the time, my shows was only getting like 1,000 or 2 each episode. And the amount of people who emailed me saying, oh my God, nobody cares about how you use the bathroom. That is so gross, blah, 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 blah. And me, I'm all like, okay. I'm like, and so then I created the prime pooping position. And I did it kind of like, not in spite, but I'm all like, hey, this is the prime pooping position. And then it kind of like built up. One of my subscribers, said the 4 Ps, because it can't just be a prime pooping position, has to be on a porcelain toilet as well. And I wish I sent you an email of the emoji. Give me a second here. This will take 10 seconds.
Oh, that's
I go
great.
like this. Perfect. Now let me show everybody this. So this is me sitting on a toilet, right? And let me tell you, we sell keychains, t-shirts, and stickers. I sell more stickers, keychains, and t-shirts and coffee mugs with me sitting on a toilet than all my other products put together.
Wow.
And we were sold out of the sticker. It's insane.
So, prime example, everybody. I don't give out much YouTube advice because I'm not a big channel, so I don't have no authority to do that. But I always say the big channels embrace what people know them for. And, of course, you're known for a lot of things. High energy, telling the truth about a product, and potties.
Keeping it real.
Keep it real, yeah.
And then, so here's what's really made my channel grow huge. It's really only about 4 things. And some of it was I was listening to my audience. So, well, first, Andrea, my wife, started filming me, which really made the channel blow up. And then another thing that really made the channel grow is I would listen to what customers wanted. They wanted to see the RV with the slide outs in, and they also wanted to see the roof. Well, one day I got down off the roof and I told everybody, I said, hey, and if you haven't already, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, What other RV salesman's gonna take his fat ass up on the roof to show you what feature roof has to offer? And that video went viral as well. That one has like 100,000 views. And I'm all like, oh, okay. And so that kind of became my thing as well, you know? I think it's more calling it as I see it.
That's right. That's right. Look, let me ask you this. I'm going to go back to the potty a second. Have you had manufacturers approach you about bathroom design since you're so famous in that area?
So it's been weird since the coronavirus. We haven't had the RV shows. But now that things are starting to open back up. So here's the deal. I went to Indiana about a month ago, and every factory rep. So it was funny. When I first started my show, the 3 things I liked and the 3 things I didn't like, that was another thing that really made it, elevate. I was the first RV and still one of the only RV salespeople to tell somebody what I don't like about a product, right? And it's not what I don't like. That's my show. Here's 3 things they do great. Here's 3 things they don't do great. And when I first started, there was a lot of hate going around in the RV industry. I was well known for the wrong way because people are like, what are you doing? Why are you telling people that we have a bad toilet position or we have a bad sofa or this or that? And I'm like, because it's just my show. It's not going to listen. What I tell people is there's every RV ever made has been sold. It's not going to stop somebody from buying an RV. It might stop them from buying that RV, but they'll still buy that RV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so after my channel started, 1 video turned to 10 videos turned into 100. Now the manufacturers love the show because they see what it has blossomed to. And all the factory reps, when I was up in Indiana, they say, Matt, I can't tell you how many customers at RV shows sit on the toilet and say, this is a prime pooping position. So it's like a thing at the RV shows now.
Oh, wow. I would say
Yep.
no longer than I've known about your channel and known you. I've seen you on other channels, and no longer than I've known you, I would say that you have a big influence in development and in sales because you have a huge following.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's just so crazy. Literally almost to the day I moved, I think it might have been today, October 6th, 2019, my wife and I moved to Florida, and we only had like 8,000 subscribers a year ago. And now we just crossed 80,000, and it's turned into its own business. Again, we kind of touched on it. I'm not even an RV salesman anymore. As of the last 30 days, General RV, they pay me to be Matt from Matt's RV Reviews and just do my videos. Actually, my wife and I were here. They flew us up to Virginia, and I'm recording videos at the Virginia store this week, it's awesome. And it's cool that they saw that and embraced it. And it's not like they tried to change it, right? It's not like they're all like, well, hey, we want you to do videos for General. It's, hey, keep doing your thing, and we want to support you doing your thing because it's working.
Right. I know. In reading between the lines, it sounds like you're doing some product videos as well as you're still doing your own thing as well, right? Did I understand that right?
No, it's all my own thing. All my own thing.
Everything's yours. Okay, I got you.
Yep. It's still Matt's RV Reviews and everything.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome. So, looking back when you started doing the videos, maybe even back when you were doing it at the dealership where you shared their name, did you ever envision the position that you have now? Or what was your vision then for the channel? I know it was probably because you were a salesman then. Your vision was to draw in more customers. But did you envision it going to where you are now?
So yes and no. So no, the answer is no. I didn't envision it, but I've always had that personality, and it's funny because So long story short, my friend Jen and Will helped me start the show, right? And they were in Maryland, and then we moved. And I remember telling Jen, I said, "How crazy do you think it?" Oh, when I started selling my stickers, I've sold a few thousand stickers. I mean, it's crazy, but like I remember telling Jen, I'm like, how crazy would it be if I could actually turn this into a business? And Jen was all like, yeah, right? Like that would never happen. Well, sure enough, starting tomorrow, Will is going to be the first employee for Matt's RV reviews. So,
Wow. That's
so
awesome.
it kind of went full circle. And he's starting tomorrow. So what happened is we were doing a video every other day, and we were just doing motorhomes. Since now my job is to be Matt's RV reviews, I've now ramped up my towable channel again. But Andre and I, we're married, and believe it or not, folks, I can be a little difficult to work with. and so Andrea just can't do it all, and she homeschools her daughter. So we're going from 15 videos a month to 30 videos a month, and I want to ramp up the towable channel to a video every day. So that's going to be 45 videos a month. And Andrea just can't do that. So now it's kind of came full circle. And Will, who helped me start the channel, is coming back onto the show. And yeah, he's our first employee.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's a lot of videos a month.
That is. And a lot of editing. Yeah.
I
have a little hair, but I'd have none by the time I edited that many videos.
Yeah.
Mine's going away too.
Because I do this when I get nervous.
Oh yeah.
So it would be gone. It'd be wore out.
Well, it's getting there now, Gary. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, I had it long and it was curling out from under my cap, and my producer below here kept aggravating.
No. Jerry is the one that didn't like it curling out from under your hat. That wasn't me.
Okay. Well, let's see. We'll rewind the video. So, I know you've got workers coming in now to help you do this. Do you see, and you don't have to give away any secrets, but do you see any changes in your video style and format in the coming future based on your new deal, like improvements, I guess?
No. So that's what they wanted, right? They wanted to get me the fancy cameras and the microphones and, well, two things. One, Andre and I, we bought a fancy camera and I returned it a day later. It was too fancy, right? And literally nothing for what I do, nothing works better than a GoPro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then two, that they general wanted to get me help, and I don't want the help. I don't need the help, because part of the problem with, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but part of the problem with traditional marketing people and traditional video people is they try to be Steven Spielberg, and they get this B-roll and then this and the audio and then the this and the gimbals and all that stuff. Listen, it's just RVs. It's just a box that you tow down the road that you poop in. That's all, We're not changing the world here. It's just RVs.
Keep it real,
like you'll see them. And like I'll give you a great example. Angie from National Indoor RV Center. She's what I guess you would call my biggest competition. I don't consider her competition. She doesn't consider me competition, because we're not really competing with each other. But anybody who watches my videos has seen her videos, and she makes great videos. And hers, it's a production, and they look fantastic. And I'm happy for her and what they do. It's just not me and what I do, And with that said, they'll make like one or two or three videos a month. we'll make 30 to 45, So it's all about what you're doing. So,
well, let me ask you this. I know you're all a big company, but there's only so many RVs. How can you make that many videos and stay relevant? Like, there's not that many different RVs, are there?
Well, there is. I mean, so you
That
have
you guys
13
sell.
Yeah, no. So General RV, we sell almost all of them. We just picked up Newmar, which is going to be huge. So here's what you got to think about. There's 365 days in a year, so you got like about 187. Call it 200. Let's round up. 200 motorhomes I have to review. There's 13 manufacturers, and out of those 13 manufacturers, there's like 84 brands, right?
Oh, wow.
So for an example, Thor, you have the Ace, the Windsport, Hurricane, the Miramar, the Challenger, right? And that's just their gas lineups, right? That's not even their diesel lineups. And so if I do 200, when you break it down, and I don't do a video on like yesterday I did the Thor Challenger, but it wasn't a video on the Thor Challenger. It was a video on the Thor Challenger 37FH, the model. And the Challenger makes 5 different floor plans. So literally in a year, I won't be able to hit every single floor plan. I will be able to make a video on every manufacturer and every brand in at least one floor plan, but not every floor plan. And then by the time I exhaust my videos, it's the next model year. So I got 200 more videos to do.
Wow.
And then travel trailers, there's even more travel trailers.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you look at some of the,
that.
you look at like a Wildwood, they'll have 25 floor plans in that one brand,
I guess I didn't realize. I knew you worked for a big company. I didn't realize they sold that many models and that many brands, I guess.
Right. Well, what's crazy is too for towables. So for motorized, General RV is one of the best. And I'm not trying to blow smoke. General RV is one of the best motorized dealerships in the country. They really like selling motorhomes. Whereas our towables isn't even that strong. We only sell maybe 25 to 30% of all available towable units. So there's a whole world that won't even be captured by our channel just because there's that many more travel trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers.
Here lately, me and my wife, we've got a Forest River work and play. Man, love it, but our business has been shut down and we're downsizing financially, and we're going to downsize rigs as well. And I've been looking at a lot of vans, doing the van life and then using it in our business. I've noticed that you don't see a lot of dealerships that sell vans. Mainly it's the manufacturer, the people that are making and customizing the vans are the direct retailer. Do you see that changing, or are you guys getting into the van life?
Yeah, no, van life is huge. So first and foremost, I'm not a huge fan of Class Bs. I find them very expensive for what they are. But yeah, no, everybody's getting into Class Bs. This was just announced a week or two ago. Integra. So Integra is one of my favorite brands. And they just came out with a Class B motorhome called the Ethos. And that will be coming to the dealership near you very, very soon. And so Thor came out strong with some Class Bs. Winnebago is crushing it with their Class Bs, with their Travados and their Bolts and their Revels. Everybody's in their Solus. I mean, everybody's doing a really good job with Class Bs. And what I'm hoping is that the Class B market's going to get so saturated in a good way where it will force the manufacturers to start lowering their price points. Because to me, I would never buy a Class B just because they're just very expensive.
Yeah. Well, you take a van and build it yourself, you're going to have a fortune in it, especially if you buy a new van.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you look at it and you think, well, you can go down the road and buy a Class A for the same money.
Price. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. So, well, how long have you been selling RVs?
Like a week or two.
Yeah.
No. I've been selling RVs now for a little over 5 years, maybe 6 years.
Was you in sales before that?
So I worked for the Washington Nationals as a beer vendor.
Now you look like a beer vendor. I'm just
Hell yeah, man. Cold beer. Hey, cold beer.
Yeah.
Who's thirsty?
You got that. Yeah.
And actually, my last year was my last year. And my very last day of work was at the World Series. And the Washington Nationals won the World Series. And so it was kind of like a storybook ending, because I've been vending all my life since I was 15 years old. I started at the Bowie Bay Sox, which is minor league, and then I worked for the Orioles, the Nationals, the Redskins, Ravens, Eagles, Caps, everything. And my last day was at the World Series, and so I say I did it Peyton Manning style. I ended on top.
Yeah, man. So, how does your wife contain your energy? Like, what do you do for fun? I know you enjoy your job. You can tell it. You can see when you do it. But when you leave, how does your wife say, close the laptop? It's just me and you.
Yep.
What's involved there?
So we have to work on that. Believe it or not, it's like a real thing. I do this for fun. Like, it's amazing that I get paid to do this, but I'm always working. And it's actually a trait that I've been, for the last year or two, trying to figure out how to turn off, right? Like, click. But I just have a problem where I can't do that. But at the same time, it's like, but it's not work. It's fun, like, it's fun what I do, it's fun talking to people. It's fun talking about RVs, and, I'm editing videos. I'm answering questions or emails. Listen, right out of high school, I did plumbing, heat, and air conditioning, and that's work,
That's work.
Getting crap on your feet, that's work. This is it's fun what I do.
Does she enjoy it as much as you do?
No, not as much. She enjoys it very much so.
Right.
But not as much as me. I mean, I love to work,
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know. I can almost see it as being a sickness almost. Like, and not like in a bad way. But like, for me, not being able to turn off my brain, like, I'm thinking about videos all the time.
Thinking about new ways and new things to do and all that.
Correct. Yep. Videos, titles. Really, the key with my videos is the better the title, the better the video. What products, I'm working on something else with parts and accessories. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about it. So here's how I came up with Matt's RV reviews, right? I was taking what I was doing, and everybody has RV reviews on YouTube. And when I mean everybody, I mean RV dealerships, right?
Right.
But they weren't a review. It was showing the RV. And it was more of like a demonstration of the RV, not a review. And so I'm like, how can I review this motorhome? And so that's when I'm like, here's a review. Let me show the motorhome. And then I'll give 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. And then, here we are today. So then it's really been killing me. I've been thinking, like, how can I do this for parts and accessories? Because, again, like, a lot of people, when they'll review their GoPro, right? Hey, let me do a review of the GoPro. It's just like, well, here's my GoPro that I'd use, and here's how I'm reviewing it, right? But what are you reviewing it to? How are you reviewing it? Are you comparing it against other cameras, or is it your only camera that you have, and that's why you're reviewing it? And so this is a lot of stuff that goes through my brain right? So, I'm like, how can I make it? And it's not so much about comparing, because what I could easily do is buy a GoPro and buy this camera, which is whatever, and then compare the shots, right? Doing like this, but that's not entertaining. So, what's been on my mind is trying to figure out a way to compare RV accessories in the type of way that I'm reviewing motorhomes, Like, for an example, like a sewer hose. I really want to review a sewer hose. What am I going to say? Hey, shit flows downhill. Hey, let's see if there's any poop still in here, So that's
Don't
what
lick your
goes through my
finger.
brain, how it's not what to do, because everybody knows what to do, but it's like, how do I do it in a way that people are gonna watch and want to watch,
Well, Felix can attest to this. Talking about poopers or poop lines are some of the best rated videos or most watched videos out there.
Yeah, my potty video, one of them is our number one video, and it's getting close to 9,000 views. Just like, what?
I love it.
Yeah, evidently everybody else does too.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, do you see a lot of like big changes in the RV world, like some major changes in how RV manufacturers are looking and approaching new designs?
Right. So everybody's going to the new white interior, right? And the farmhouse look, and it looks great. Here's the problem. When everybody does it, you're not special anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, there's one manufacturer who kind of missed the boat on farmhouse. And I was talking to the owner, and they're all like, yeah, we're probably going to be doing the farmhouse spring of next year, maybe even in the summer. And I'm like, bro, no, farmhouse will be dead by then. You have to figure out the next farmhouse. So many manufacturers, they're all I'm gonna say it wrong. They're reactive and they're not proactive or whatever.
Right.
And that's just the RV industry, and that's the way it's always been and probably always will be. They're always way far behind on technology and innovation and stuff.
I used to build and sell houses, and I kept people that designed our house. I didn't design like the colors, the schemes, and the house design itself. I always had a separate person that was their life. You could tell they desired to do it. They would nearly do it for free because they loved it so much. That was their passion. And we always sold our home for more money quicker because we had that. We were always that one step ahead. I've noticed that me and my wife been looking at mobile homes and stuff in our downsizing. And some of the mobile home dealers are just like you say, they're done behind. They don't have in their 19s and 20s, they've still got what was the year before, And my wife thought, that's already.
Yeah, or not only that, how many of you guys have walked into an RV and said, man, who designed this RV? Has that designer even been in an RV? You know what I'm saying? Making the floor plans or putting the toilet in a corner because it fits on a spreadsheet. But, when you sit down, you don't have the space, or, having the sofa face this way, but the TV's over there. So there's a lot of silly things that they do.
I've seen that a lot where the TV's over to it's like, why would they do that? I think that's strange.
I enjoy watching TV like this. Don't you guys?
That's the one thing I complain about the most about. Of course, I'm a short guy, so I probably don't have the potty issues some people does because I'm short-legged, right? But TV issues, wow. And then they put them up on the ceiling. And, like at the very top. Who wants to look up? I don't have one.
Then you're doing this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it's pretty crazy.
So But I do like that some of the RVs I've seen had different places so you can move them. I do like that, but they're still behind. Do you see the design of what kind of RVs we see? Like what I mean, like we have the typical travel trailers, and then we've got the R pods and stuff like that. Do you see any new designs coming up that's just going to blow people away? Like new thinking stuff that we've not thought about?
Yes. Fleetwood has a diesel pusher coming out in a few weeks that gives you a center kitchen island.
Awesome.
Which I've never seen that in a motorhome, which is going to be great. Travel trailers. Nobody's doing anything crazy that I've seen. Yeah, no, that's the big thing that's kind of like going to be like a, wow, this is either great and people are going to love it, or, man, I hope you didn't make too many of them and people are going to hate it. It's going to be one of those things.
So is the RV industry starting to catch back up with production?
Nope. It's not making the RVs. So here's what's going to happen. A lot of the RVs, they're all already made. They are made. They're just waiting on the AC unit or the water heater furnace or whatever. Like when I went out to Indiana, you'll see them all. Right? And it's just all about they're all missing a part or a piece or a sofa or something. And as soon as all that stuff starts coming in, the dealerships will start getting, being full again.
I noticed because, like I said, me and my wife had the work and play, and my uncle and them was hunting one, and they called me because they couldn't find one, and they found a used one, and he called me and he's like, "You didn't give near that much for yours. I've had mine a year. I bought it used," and I'm like, "No, but go find another one." And he paid probably about $1,500, $2,000 more used than I paid for mine a year ago, and it's the same model camper.
That's what's happening. Yep.
So one of our people, forever best friend in the chat asked, "What is the next big trend?"
I'm gonna have to continue to say Class Bs. It's the biggest growing market sector out there and everything. And yeah, Class Bs are the trend. People want small. More manufacturers are dipping their toes into it, and that's the next big trend. That and farmhouse, but farmhouse is already here.
Yeah. I can see it even in looking. If you look on the used market for vans that are already made for van lifing, there's not many. People are buying them up. It's a hot trend.
Yep. No, that's going to be everything. And my prediction is, so part of the problem is right now everybody's buying RVs, and a lot of people who aren't used to the RV lifestyle is getting RVs. And so I predict in the next 12 to 18 months, there will be a lot of used units on dealerships lots, or up for consignment. Consignment.
Confinement. That question I asked about your wife containing your energy. You have time on the ring.
Yep. I'm like, confinement. Don't confound me. No, but there's going to be a lot of units for consignment and for sale private party, because once people realize that you have to dump your own black tanks, and with an RV, it doesn't matter if you spend $100,000, it's going to break. Once people start realizing about the RV lifestyle, that you need to bring a tool bag with you, they'll start trading them in, and they'll start going back to hotels and resorts and everything.
So Journey with the Gingers has a question. They said, "What are your thoughts on hybrid models?" They've been looking at the Rockwood Roo models online, but their husband is not too thrilled with them. What's your thoughts on those?
I like the hybrid.
Video on it. Do what? I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, I don't have a video on it, but I do like the hybrids. I mean, it's great, because then you have the two beds. They're both queens. Pop-ups suck, right? Where this gives you the pop-up feel, the camp feel, but also while having an enclosed travel trailer. I like hybrids.
I seen, and I had never seen one. I guess I've lived a sheltered life, but Simple Life Reclaimed, they were in the chat earlier. They are fixing their fifth wheel up to live in Arkansas while they build their new homestead. But their fifth wheel had a slide out bed in the back, like a pop up, out the rear. And I had never seen one of those. Yeah, I'd never seen one.
Yep, that's very unique.
So, do you see anything technology wise coming in the RV world that maybe is overdue or they're improving on?
No, so everybody's going with this new in-command systems or the multiplex or the wiring where you can control everything on your phone. And nothing's wrong with that, but what some manufacturers aren't doing, they're not just putting a backup button, right? So like when I get to the campground, I don't want to wait 30 seconds or 60 seconds for the wiring to boot up and then they'll hold the button, but then the button, I just want to push a button and get my slide out. And I feel like a lot of RV manufacturers are trying to be fancy, and it helps them sell, right? Because when a salesman's on the lot saying, hey, you can control everything from your phone, that does sound great, but the actual practicality and of the application of your using it, it's none. Everybody rather just push the button, right? I don't want to have to wait a minute, wait for the screen to reboot like it's 1998 and you have dial-up internet just to push the button for the slide out to come out. Then your fifth wheel has 5 slide outs, and you can only push that touch screen one at a time. I want to and just get all the slide outs out,
Yeah, I get you. Do you see, and that leads me to my other question. Everybody wants solar. It's not affordable. Do you see manufacturers who produce multiple units per year? Do you see them getting in the solar panel business and making that standard equipment? I know a lot of them come pre-wired now, but a lot of people still can't afford or don't know how. Do you see somebody jumping into that venue?
Right. So here's the problem with solar, okay? And a lot of manufacturers are starting to put them on. The only thing it does is trickle charge the house batteries. It's not the type of solar that is going to run your RV. It's only going to turn your lights on and off. And if your battery gets too low, it's not going to be enough power for you to recharge your battery. It's you need a really, you need 15, 20, $30,000 solar systems for it to work. And even still, the best systems is only running an AC unit for 4 or 5 hours,
Right.
It's just not there yet. And it's funny because all these travel trailers now and motorhomes, they all come prepped for solar, and people are like, okay, good. And they'll buy it, but people won't put solar on. It's just the reality.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So the reason I asked that question was I know they deal with a lot of volume, and I thought that might help bring the cost down. That was my thinking on that part of it, and we get more people in. But I see your question about you would have to build a big system.
Right, yeah. So it's not the solar panel, believe it or not. They're actually relatively cheap. It's the batteries. It's the lithium-ion batteries that cost a lot of money. And then it's the there's something that you need to do, like the energy management system or whatever, to make everything run. That's very expensive. And here's part of the problem. When a lot of times with RVs, when you're looking at the same RV, if one RV is $99,000 and the other one's $105,000, people won't buy the one that's 105 if they're the same level. But even if the 105 had solar on the roof and this one didn't, people are still going to buy this one. So this person isn't going to put solar on the roof to make sure that they're both 99,000. It's just like slide toppers. Everybody should have a slide topper on their travel trailer, but no manufacturers will put the slide topper on standard because it will then raise the price of their product over the other product, and then people will buy a travel trailer, one or the other, over $1,000. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Every trailer that has a slider, every vehicle should have a topper. So His Way Homestead is going back to what you said about the smart system. And his question was, what do you do if you lose your phone? Then what happens? You can't control your camper.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So technology has its ups and downs.
And to add to the technology, there is one thing I saw pretty cool, but I wouldn't even give the credit to the RV industry. I'd give the credit to GMC. Have you seen that Hitch Vision on GMC where it makes the trailer transparent?
What?
No.
You're kidding.
So
right?
what it is, when you hook it up to your GMC truck, you can put all these cameras around your fifth wheel or towable, and then when you're towing, you're able to see your trailer, but transparent, right? You're able to see the lines. You're able to see who's next to you, who's next to them, and who's behind you. It's really cool. Just look up GMC towing, and that's pretty cool and pretty neat technology that I've seen.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
that's gonna be
interesting.
awesome. I think that's great because a lot of times I grew up driving a dump truck, so I'm used to not seeing behind me. But it freaks so many people out because they can't see behind them. And it's a good thing to be able to see behind you. But it's sort of like a pilot. I learned to trust my gauges. You know what I'm saying? And not worry about what was behind me, worry about what's in front of me. But so in powertrains, I know that with diesels, the emission stuff is killing the diesels. Have you heard any changes coming up in those? Because I run diesel trucks, and we're having all kind of issues in the last few years with it. We've had the Duramaxes and we've had the Cummins. Have you heard anything where they may change emissions or any improvements there?
Nope. I haven't seen any of that stuff. And you know, with RVs, very few people on the market actually put the type of mileage on a motorhome, even a diesel motorhome, for it to affect. You know, if you're in trucking, you're doing 100,000 miles in a year, right? Whereas RVs just aren't traveling like that, you know?
Right. So don't change much. What, in your experience, what's the ratio diesel versus gas sales? A lot more gas because of the money?
Yep, 10-1 because the money. And here's what I like to tell people. Everybody always asks me what's better, gas or diesel. And that's not the question because the answer is diesel. And there's no debate. The real question that I challenge the customer who's asking that question is diesel worth $60,000 to $100,000 more? A diesel motorhome rides better with air ride suspension. I can buy a pretty dang old cushion for $60,000, right? A diesel's quieter because the engine's in the back. An engine's louder. You're driving up front. I could buy a pretty good sound system for $60,000. You know, like there's all these for everything that's better. It's yes, but is it worth it? And to a lot of people, it is, and they will spend $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 to have those creature comforts. But then to other people, it's not worth it. And to the majority, it's not worth it. My rule of thumb, if you plan on living in it and spending 15,000 miles a year or more in it, yes, get the diesel. But if you're not doing that, save the money, get the gas, buy some earphones. You know what I'm saying? You'll be all right.
And that don't even count the difference in the maintenance. You're just counting the sticker price. The
Just
maintenance
sticker price
is more. the maintenance is more, and everything about it's more. On the gas burners, when I look on the market, I'm always looking at RVs. I guess the average mileage on a diesel pusher that I'll see for sale, I'm talking about one several years old, is like 29,000, 30,000 miles.
Yep.
And then you'll look at a gas burner and it'll have like 40,000 miles. Is it the difference in the people buying them? They're retired, more money, a little older versus
No. I mean, again, people just don't put the miles on a motorhome that you would think. And, I have people say it every day, well, the longevity of a diesel, right? And I'm like, bro, you're not going to put that type of miles on your RV, Well, a diesel engine's just starting to break in at 100,000 miles. I'm like, yeah, well, you're going to trade it in at 15,000 miles. So why the heck do you care, right?
Yeah.
So it's again, when it's trucking, when it's your profession and you're driving for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, you 100% need the diesel. But when it's an RV, you really don't. And listen, I love selling diesels, right? Diesels are fun. But, again, is it worth that much more? No, not in my opinion.
Right. So is there any new chassis companies like Chevrolet or Ford making any new chassis coming up, or any?
I heard a rumor. I heard a rumor that Chevy might be getting back into making Class A gas chassis. I sure hope they do, because again, competition is good. With Ford owns the gas market, and if they'll make gas engines, that will help price down the units. So yeah, competition's a good thing.
So, okay. My producer's asking I need to. When did you say you need to bow out? You got time?
At 11 o'clock.
Is that
Eastern, right?
You're Eastern, so it's nearly 11 o'clock.
Yep.
I got you.
Okay.
So at I got like 7 more minutes.
I got you.
Okay.
We were just going over our time because everybody that comes on is in a different time zone. And
Okay.
so we were making sure on time.
Well, then beer 30. I got to get off at beer 30.
Beer 30. Well, we love your show. I know the chat. I could tell that they were enjoying you being here. And we got 28 people in the house right now. And so pretty good for our little bitty show. And
nice.
We appreciate you coming on our little bitty show. And we like your videos. And we've been dropping your link to your channel about every 3 minutes, and so maybe you got a bunch of new watchers and followers, and
well, thank you.
Maybe your channel will grow, and we'll get together maybe one of these days and do this again. Maybe by then we'll be like 1,500.
Nice. Are you guys coming down to Tampa?
I won't get to.
No.
I think there were some people in the chat that was. I want to think our epic RV adventure was going. I think I heard Traveling Robert say he was going.
Yeah, Traveling Robert's going to be there.
Yeah.
We had Traveling Robert on our show a couple of weeks ago. He is a hoot.
Yeah,
he is the nicest guy on the planet. I feel bad that I'm not as nice as him. Like, it's not that I'm not nice. He's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he talks, I'm like, dude, you're so nice. And, he's one of the best people I've ever met.
Yeah, he was one of the best people, no offense, that I've asked to be on the show. His responses are just so friendly. It's just like, wow, Yep, he really is. He's super down to earth.
And he's just the nicest. It's
So
awesome.
I think he dropped by and seen you the other day with his new rig, didn't he? I think y'all done.
Yep, he sure did.
Yeah, I think you and him may have both done a video. Now that would be cool. Traveling Robert and Matt's RV reviews teaming up to do a big collaboration. That'd be awesome.
We did it.
Yeah. So all right. So I know you're busy. and the big rock star you are now. So don't forget all of us little peons when you get
Yeah.
I never will. Never will.
the private jet and the private class A that they send in front of you for you to sleep in every time you go somewhere, like the rock stars, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, that's not me. That's not me. I'm just an RV salesman.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming by, and we'll let you get to
Thank
having
you
some
so
more fun.
much.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks. See ya.
Well, he was super fun.
Oh yeah, I'd love to have him for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're kind of lucky we got him for the 1 hour. So he was kind of a hard one to pin down. He's a busy man, so it was pretty awesome of him to squeeze us into his schedule.
It nearly didn't happen, guys, and that's why I say we've gotten to where when we have big channels going to be on the show, that we have to walk lightly because they have commitment, especially Matt now with the position he has. Even though it's his channel and his doings, he still has a company to keep happy and manufacturers and all that. So it's a business, even though he has fun doing it. And so he has a lot of people to answer to. And we don't want our little bitty show to interfere with that. We want him to come when it's as convenient as possible, even though I do know we help them, but still we don't want to hold them back from something. So
yeah, he literally made it work to be here today for the hour. So very appreciative of that. So that was really awesome of him to do
that. Right after the show, we weren't sure that it was even going to work out.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I am tickled to death. It just blows me away that you guys support the channel enough that these big channels will want to be on. So that just tickled me to death. So our Simple Life Reclaim still in the house.
Yeah, the more people we have in the show, in the audience, the more likely we'll be able to get bigger guests like that. Because, if I email them, there's a good chance they go check out the channel. And if they see, 10 people in the chat, they're going to be like, so share out and get your friends to come and all that good stuff so that, we can build this up and maybe get some more awesome big channels. We still got several yet to be on the show, as long as everything works out.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot not reply. I've had some reply and say no, and so.
But yeah, we got several left looking at the book, several pretty good sized channels. And we love little channels. It ain't that we got to have big channels.
No.
We just think that y'all would like the big ones and the little ones as well. And so the big ones are just like finding the diamond in the ground. Those are few and far between. So, so that makes it exciting for us.
Unfortunately, a lot of the little channels that I will email, I think they're so new that they're scared to be live. So I think that's why a lot of them turn us down. So, I think they're just they're scared, and, that's understandable, the bigger channels, they're used to being in front of the camera. It doesn't faze most of them, I don't think.
And a lot of them still growing, even though they may have 80,000 subscribers. They want 1 million. You know what I'm saying? And they know that their channel is more popular or more marketable the more people that follow them. So even if it's just a few, if you do that 100 times a year, you've gained a lot of subscribers. So. But anyway, so again, I don't know if he's still in here. Bob's Adventure is our new member for the day. I appreciate them for joining the channel. They were already Patreon members and already Epidemic music sponsors to the show. So they play a big part, or Bob plays a big part in our show. And we appreciate him for that. And all of our members and all of our Patreon members and all of our sponsors. And so we appreciate everybody. So I don't say it enough, but I love all you guys, and every little bit counts and matters, and you don't have to, but you did. So, but I was interested to hear him say that a lot of companies are getting into the van life business.
Yeah.
And I do agree that that'll drive the price down, I think.
That doesn't really surprise me too much, because that's kind of really exploded recently, somewhat recently, I think. It seems like everybody wants to redo a van. So not completely surprised. I think people are also, they're starting to get into that, wanting to, thank you, Meemaws Matters. Want to get into where they can get into smaller spaces. They're learning that, they're realizing that they want to be on those BLM spots, but they can't take that big travel trailer into that BLM spot. And vans, I mean, that's pretty simple,
I think that will be good for the parks and the campgrounds as well, because less of a vehicle is less of an impact.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would think. But now I'm no climate control or nothing guy, but I'm just saying that the less tires and wheels you bring onto a property and the less space it takes to house that person, the less damage you do to the natural environment, So I would like to see companies. I don't know if y'all had them, and they may not have been that popular everywhere, but do y'all remember Jim Walter Homes? They would build you a house. They advertised every Sunday, about the time Animal Kingdom was on. They always
Animal Kingdom. My gosh, what year are you in?
I know I'm
like
older than you, but I'm not that much older than you. But what I'm saying, Jim Walter Homes, they would build you a house with whatever level of build you wanted. Like they would either dry it in, or they would dry it in and wire and plumb it, or they would do it all. Or I don't think they would do it all. They might would, but they would do parts of it. That's what I'd like to see with van life companies come in and say, look, or like van, like say Dodge and Mercedes. All right, we're going to sell you a van that's pre-wired with lights and insulation. All you have to do is install the furniture, the batteries, and the solar panel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already insulated. You done got some of the work done. Even though that's some of the easiest stuff, I would like to see them get into putting some of the basics in it. I think that would help sales in new ones anyway. Right now, if you want to build a van, I think you can get some additions from the manufacturer, but now you're basically buying a cargo van and upgrading it.
Yeah.
I wish they would get that to a point so you could get maybe a smoother ride in there as well. So I don't know.
I still kind of like the whole idea of the 4-wheel drive, setup, big tires.
Yep.
I would love the safari van. That's what I want. I want a safari van.
Yeah.
I climb the mountain and sit on top.
I gotta get my battery. I'll be right back.
All right. I honestly do not remember Jim Walter Homes. I don't remember anything remotely close to Jim Walter Homes. I don't remember that at all. I do remember Animal
Kingdom. Says she remembers it.
Yep, she remembers. I don't.
I bet there's more people in here. I bet His Way Homestead remembers Jim Walter Homes.
Are you saying he's old?
Huh?
Are you saying he's old?
Yeah, he's old. Like
are you saying Shanna Craft is old? Gary?
She must be old if she remembers Jim Walter Homes. I'm old and I remember it.
Oh.
My cousin them actually lived in one.
That's
You still
interesting.
see them. You can spot a Jim Walter house a mile away. It had that, about every one of them had that white lap siding, masonite siding.
Yeah.
You could paint it, but it all come white. I'm getting an echo.
I didn't hear it.
So I'm still getting it. I hear it now every time I say anything.
I don't hear it.
Making sure I don't have any channels brought up, but I hadn't heard it all morning.
Shanna said she's older than both of us yahoos.
By the way, guys, continue to pray for Mel and Nettie.
Yeah.
They lost their little Jack yesterday. I don't know if we was on the air. I think that was after we went off.
Yeah, it was after when we were on, they had just admitted him taking him to ER, and they were admitting him because they were going to, I think, observe him. But yeah, I think it was probably 1:30 our time that she texted and said that he had passed
This is
away.
their little fur baby that passed away, Jack, the little cat. I think he was about 12 years old.
I was thinking 11, so somewhere around there.
Anyway, we never want to lose our fur baby.
She was up all night, upset, and of course, and she's really sad. I mean, Mel's probably sad too, but I mean, honestly, I'm sure it hit Nettie harder.
We lost Jasper Christmas Eve, and I didn't sleep for a week and a half. I felt guilty, my part, because I didn't get him. He kept getting better, and then he got worse. And then I thought, well, he can wait. It was on the weekend in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. And I thought, he get better in the morning, we'll carry him to the vet. And he didn't make it to the morning. So, and, holiday weekend, couldn't get nobody. And the guilt still bothers me. But
yeah, fur babies are our family. Yeah, I love Darby and all, but probably the best dog I ever had. And he was a boxer. A little over 3 years ago, he passed, and that was rough. He was my buddy. So,
Shanna, that would be an idea to prefab some of these new vans and stuff coming out, getting them ready. I don't know. Maybe some of the new people will get into that. That might be a good business to get into, is building, prefabbing vans. The problem is the cost. You'd have to have a lot of overhead. I thought about building one to sell, because I believe that I could build them a lot cheaper than they're building them. But I don't know. When you start pricing out stuff, it adds up. So, don't know. I've thought about buying a used one, building it, and just having it for sale. But if I didn't sell it, I could always use it. But then if I did sell it, buy me another one and flip it. So that way you're using it. I think that's what a lot of them, I've been watching a lot of videos, and there's several people doing that. They buy them, they build them, they keep them for sale, they sell them, they build them another one.
Wasn't that kind of what Johnny's Journey does? I mean, she builds.
I think she's been helping people. I think she's been helping people more. I don't know. Because I don't know that she sold one, has she?
Yeah, her last one. Well, I don't know that she sold it, but I think it was her sister that got it or something. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what she does, because she gets one, she builds it, then moves on and gets one and builds it. But I think she's addicted to the build.
Yeah,
seriously.
I think she cargo trader. But there's several people doing cargo traders now, so cargo traders would actually be easier, I think, than a van, but probably not, because it's got all the same technology you'd have to do. So probably not any.
Yeah, because you still got to wire it and, all that stuff. You still got to, well, I think you can buy them already insulated, but honestly, you would probably pay so much more to have them insulated than if you just do it yourself, and it's really not that hard. You just take the panels off, slap some insulation in there, and put the panels back on.
Yeah.
You know, it's teeny bit time consuming, a little bit messy because we use the foam board. So, when we're pushing it in, the little pieces foam off, but so we had the little foamies all over the place. But, Shop Vac took care of that.
Yep.
Still better than paying an extra. I mean, what would they charge you? An extra $1,500 just to slam some, $4 foam board? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's more of how much work and not just how much work do you want to do, but how much work can you do? Because some people might be limited on, what they can do, not necessarily just whether they want to do it.
Right.
So, that would be kind of an interesting business to start.
I would have to learn about, and I got a friend that teaches all this, but I'd have to learn a lot about the 12-volt stuff and the wiring for 12-volt, and then wiring so that you would be able to plug in and have things that would still work. So you would have to wire it both ways, I guess. I'm not an electrician, so.
Well, I mean, you would have to, but
no, you wouldn't have to.
But a lot of people would want to be able to, have that option.
I'd want to build them so they're set up, ready to go. So if somebody walked in and said, "I want to buy your rig," and I'll be able to say like, "Well, X amount of dollars," but all you got to do is get in the driver's seat and turn the switch. When you get to where you want to go, climb in the back, everything works. And then if you need to replace things, here's the battery, here's the inverter. This is things you have to check. So that's the way. And van building companies do that. But wow, van's $120,000, $130,000 or more probably set up. I guess it'd be more than that if it was new. I'd say
ridiculous.
I'd say a van would be. A new gas burning Sprinter would probably cost you $60,000. Just a hull, you know what I'm saying? A cargo van. It may cost more than that. But then you get into Mercedes with the diesel in it, man, then you really get up there. I think the van wise, I was messaging them the other day because they had told how many miles their van had on it. And I think we were trying to calculate the difference. It might have been me and you and Nettie. I ain't sure. But anyway, me and somebody. So I just messaged them. I said, how many miles did your van have on it? Because, man, they go everywhere in that thing. And they had like 250,000 miles on it when they bought it, the Mercedes. But I got to looking at used ones. And about over half the used ones I found had like 450 and 500,000 miles. But they did say that on their way home with their van, when they purchased it, they had to replace 6 sensors before they got home with it.
Wow.
They said it was a trip, but so Rayleigh Creative said he thought the Sprinters start just under $40,000. I will say, though, I learned something watching the van life channels, the van wise people. Their biggest complaint about their van, it don't have cruise control. They said that is a big deal if you buy one. Make sure it's got cruise control because you're going to put a lot of miles on that van and you're not going to want to keep your foot on the gas.
Okay. I'm like, why? Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I mean, yeah, because they go from like Canada, that's where they're from, to Mexico. That's a lot of miles. My bus even has cruise. Well, it has what they call high idle. Doubles as a cruise.
Didn't know they did that in a bus.
Yeah, see, I put a lot of miles on my bus because I have special needs.
Oh, Mr. Ziggy wants to convert a U-Haul with the cab over. Yeah, that would be awesome. I've seen a few people who've done some U-Haul truck conversions, and they're pretty cool. They really are. They're pretty cool.
I love the art that comes out in people when they convert thing. You notice that? Like,
yeah,
like
they get
really,
very creative.
no, these buses I've seen, these schoolies, wow, the imagination. And these people envision that. And I'm like, how do you envision a whole of a school bus looking like that?
So I was about 5 years old, and my mom and dad had a full-size school bus, and they converted it. We lived in it. It wasn't
Wow.
cool. It wasn't cool to do that then. You
Y'all
were
were hippies.
you were white trash if you did that. So, but Mom, we were in a little mobile home park, and we lived in the school bus. I loved that bus. I didn't care what other kids said. That didn't matter to me. But I loved that bus. My dad did the work, and it was awesome. It was fun, and I think every once in a while, man, I wish I had that bus. It was cool.
My dad built his own dune buggy, and that was cool. A lot of people around here back then built them, Volkswagen dune buggies, and yeah, we were probably white trash, but we had one.
Whatever. Yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Ziggy, that they would be handicap accessible because with the loading ramps, you get the one that has the lift
Yeah,
ramp.
like my school bus has a lift in it.
That would be, yeah.
I was thinking the other day how cool that'd be. Put your kitchen on it, and so when you got to the campground, you lower down your kitchen, and it's table height.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I think if we were, I don't know, you can do so much with a big bus. I've even seen there's some that's converted like Greyhound buses. Those kind of buses. They've converted those. And I think that would be cool. There's so much potential there, but whoo, man, the places to park it and stuff like that. So that's why if we ever did do like a bus or something, we'd want a small one. We want to be on the short bus.
I drive a bus every day. I would not want to convert one because I know how rough they ride, and I can't imagine keeping cabinets and stuff in one. And I can't imagine listening to that thing and driving it across country. That's me personally, and I have hard hearing. So,
and for me, I would like to have an old bus, so that would be even worse.
yeah, even worse. Yeah. And then the fuel mileage is terrible on them, and then you load them with cabinets and beds and kitchens, and it's going to be even worse. And I'm going to be real honest with you. The buses we sell are great if you want to run around local, but I wouldn't take one of our buses across country when they sell them. My bus right now only has 90-something thousand miles. I wouldn't take it across country. It just, I don't know. Some people wouldn't have any problem, but I've just had so much problem with mine, and I don't know if it's because it's school buses. They're not built the same as, say, coaches that are built for travel. I don't know. They're more industrial, I guess. But I would go nuts if I had to drive mine, even if the stock as it is. I don't know that I'd want to drive a new one across country. But, and I've drove.
Shuttle bus is a good idea.
Do what?
A shuttle bus. That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's what American Wanderer has, is a shuttle bus.
Yep.
I think that would be a good conversion.
Now, church bus conversion.
I don't know. And I think of a church. If I think of a church bus, I think of the movie Convoy with the long-haired hippie Jesus freaks. I can't help it. When I think of church bus, that's what I always think of. So I don't know if I could be in a church bus.
Our church bus rides good. Matter of fact, we've not had ours about 5 years. It's a used one, but it's a lot better deal than a school bus. It's made for comfort. The one we have does, because it's got captain seats all the way in it. It's made for hauling adults basically in. It's not a school for school kids. But ours, you can sit up straight, and it's really, that's why we bought it, because our older people used it more for get-togethers than our younger people did. So we actually gave away our van to our church to the church in Kentucky that we helped, and just kept the bus we bought with the captain seats in it. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of think if we decide to ever do something different, I think we may be leaning towards the whole van thing. Truck camper, we kind of considered, since we have a truck now, but I don't know. That to me, I feel like that seems like more of a pain if you want to pull it off, and I just don't feel like I'd want to do that. So I'm thinking we would probably lean towards the van thing.
Truck camper, I like truck camping. But but since me and Tammy's other business is doing so good, our thought has been the van would replace, it would do two purposes.
Right.
And so that's a big winner with us. I thought we might be able to use it in the party business, but I don't think they're going to have enough towing capacity. So I may buy me a truck, and then if we do the van, just buy a van, and then convert it. But a van for us would work awesome with our vinyl business and traveling and using it for our RV. And I've got some good ideas I think will cut the cost way down on the build. Plus, my dad could help me do it. I'm not talented like Johnny, but my dad is talented like Johnny. And he can do anything. He used to build airplanes. He's a machinist by trade.
Oh.
He runs dozers now, but by choice. But a machinist when you see one. You can look in the door panel of their pickup truck, and if they have a set of mics, they was a machinist by trade. So, you know what mics are? They just open and close, and they check the diameter, inside diameter or outside diameter of stuff. And they call it micing, I think. Let's see. It won't matter if we had a pop-up truck camper at night, it'd be full time. Too small, the new truck camper set night. Yep, the new truck.
She says too small, but Grassroots Living lives in theirs full time.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a tiny house for a home base, but basically they just live in their truck camper. So, yep. I mean, that's kind of each person's preference, whether they're in small or larger space. And I mean, some people need that space. I personally am pretty sure we could live in something that small if we really wanted to. But I don't.
Could do it if we were retired and didn't have a business. I think me and her could do it. I told y'all yesterday, I love my wife to death, so being with her, I kid y'all all the time about being too close, but we could do it. Because we both, we know each other, we read each other, does that make sense? And so we could do it, but I also could see us, if we were full-time and say in a van, we would be doing hotel stops every few weeks and maybe taking a few nights in a hotel, living. If we were doing van life, I could see us doing some of that as well, or going to see the kids, crashing, getting out of it for a few days. But I think me and Tammy could do it well. I love the aspect of you have everything in the van, you park it easy. The stealth mode part of it I like. In one sense, I'm like, I need my channel name on the back of this. But they're like, no, don't put your channel name on it.
Yeah, because then you're not stealth anymore.
Then you're not stealth. But I do see magnets on the back and taking them off when you park. But
yeah, you could do that. We kind of went through that with the windows thing. If we put windows in, we're not stealth anymore.
That's right.
So, but I chose to get windows because I didn't feel like we were probably going to be parking on the side of the road to sleep anyways. So
Well,
we haven't yet.
Usually, too, where it's okay to park if you're not stealth. Probably. There's not going to be many places you can go that maybe is a gray area that you couldn't park anyway. Like Cracker Barrel. You can park at Cracker Barrel. They don't care.
Yeah.
If you're in your Class A, pull in there. Just be nice. Go in and eat. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done Cracker Barrel yet. We've done a few Walmart, but those are starting to get fewer and farther between because a lot of the Walmarts are restricting and not letting there be overnight parking. So.
The people that own the Ace Hardware here where we live in Rainsville has a huge, you could park probably 20 or 30 rigs like Nettie's in the back parking lot. Not the front one, the back one. And they have told me they didn't care for people parking there, like on the way to Talladega or something. And I said, I guess you'd like for them to come in and buy something. They said, oh, that'd be nice too.
Yeah.
And so they have propane refills. They have some, it's Ace Hardware. It's a big store. They have, I don't know that I've ever been in there and they didn't have what I needed.
And where'd you say that is?
It's in our hometown here in Rainsville.
Oh.
So it's been open a couple of years. The people that own it, Dad used to own all the Burger Kings in this area. And he sold his Burger Kings, and then his daughter and son-in-law built this Ace Hardware. So, matter of fact, I talked to him yesterday.
If somebody wanted to stay there, do they need to call ahead, or do they just let people just kind of pull up and park and you're good to go? What if they're closed when you get there?
I'll talk to her some about it, and I think you could just pull in there and park, and nobody say anything to you. I will, when I'm in there one day, I'll ask. I'll just say, hey, we might have people coming through for Talladega or something. Can they just pull in here and park? Do they need to put a note on the window that y'all said it was okay? And they're going to come in and buy something from you. And so something
if
like
I go
that.
there and park, I'm going to put a note on my window and say, Gary Hartline said I could.
Yeah. I'll try to figure it out.
Him.
But I did. I've already talked to him about it, but I'll ask him again. And
well, I think that's good to know. It's nice to know when there's, spots that you can stop at.
Yeah, and like I say, there's not very many places that has propane where they'll fill your tanks.
Yeah.
They just started doing the propane stuff. They have the swap out bottles, so if you need to do that, they can do that. Like I went the other day and I had a bottle they couldn't fill, but he let me swap it with one of their swap out bottles. So it cost me a little bit more, but I got a tank that's legal now. See what I mean? So they help you work with you. So what they'll do, take my tank and make it legal or whatever.
So I didn't know Kroger. We don't really have a lot of Krogers around here. I didn't know they were allowing overnights. So, so it sounds like they're stopping doing it. C19 newbies. What's a C19?
Yeah, I don't know what a C19 is.
Ruining it for all with being rude to the places. Yeah, I think, I don't know what a C19 newbie is, but I just think that's a lot of people in general. Because I've seen plenty of older people. Gotcha.
What did I miss? Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Me and you both.
I've seen.
Right over.
Yeah, we're with it this morning. I've seen a lot of rudeness from all age groups, and before any of this hit this year, we've picked up bags of trash. We've, just stuff like that. I don't know. It just, people are not considerate when they borrow someone's place to sit, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yep. Not Class C folks.
Yeah. All Class C folks are rude. Yeah. Well, okay. It's all right. The coffee will hit at some point, right? We'll wake up. Oh, I just wasn't thinking in that mindset, I guess.
So if y'all have not seen Matt's RV reviews, y'all got to go check him out. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a great guest.
All his videos are that high octane. I mean, he's wound up.
Tina's Journal of Journeys. She said minivan people can be cranky if we're freezing. I can see that. Oh, dead air. Trying to think of something to say. My brain is not, my sinuses are so messed up.
I got my mind on things I need to do, and it's got me squirreling.
Well, you do that anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, so what were you fixing on the house last night?
Oh, Lord. Don't even want to go into that.
I gotta know.
Always touching stuff up. So yesterday, what did I touch up?
Well, I don't know. That's why I was asking.
What did
I just
do?
know.
Oh, I know what it was.
Oh,
in my daughter's room, they have this. She has this big arch window, huge. And I went in there last night. Tammy was sewing masks, and I look up and I'm thinking, my Lord, that window needs caulking. I'm not a great caulker, so it takes me a while. And, so I had to go get all my stuff. It takes longer sometimes to go get all the stuff than it does to do it. So I caulked that, and then that led to caulking something else. And then, I don't know. It's just stuff I know how to do. I'm not great at it. But I just know that other people get stuff, they may have to hire somebody to do it. And so I just like fixing things. I done something else, but I don't know. Anyway, there's Trooper Duo coming in the house. Y'all missed Matt's RV reviews. If y'all weren't here earlier, we could only keep him for an hour, but we had a blast, so y'all might want to go back and watch that. If you don't know Matt RV reviews, go over to his channel and watch some of his videos. He's high octane. He gives good RV reviews. They're real reviews too, by the way. He gives you 3 things he likes and 3 things he don't like. So
I filmed 3 mail call videos yesterday on the GoPro.
Oh,
and deleted them off before I realized they didn't actually download onto. Oh, I had to read that out loud for it to sink in. What I read it quietly, and then I wasn't sinking in. Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
There's no good way to put that. That flat sucks.
Yep.
Boy, I would have been so mad. I just would have been so mad.
There's Victoria May Wallace coming in the house. But yeah, that was a fun interview with Matt this morning. I'm just honored to have him on the show. If we'd had him 15 minutes, I'd have been tickled to death.
Oh. Yeah, isn't that funny how that works, Artists on the Road? It always seems like the bad stuff always happens when you're already irritated. It's like it just piles up. Yeah, been there, done that.
So me and Tammy got a debate that we've been talking about. It's not we're arguing with each other or debating.
No, I side with her.
Well, we're trying to decide. We as a couple are trying to decide. As a lot of y'all know that follow me on Facebook, we had a couple friends that passed away a day apart. And our numbers for this bad stuff in our county is like out the roof. We're in the red again. And so in the middle of trying to sell our house, do we risk, because the funeral homes are open, we could go to visitation tonight and see one of our friends. We can't go tomorrow because we got a lot going on, so we're not going to get to go even at all for our other friend. But we could go see the lady that went to church with us. But we know there's going to be a lot of people there. Do we risk that? Because if we get sick in the middle of selling this house, then what do they have to do about selling the house? Does that put off selling the house?
My personal thought, it depends how close you really were to that person. Because I don't think anyone is going to fault you for not going. I think they would understand. Now, if it's somebody that that really meant so much to you that you're going to miss them forever and ever and ever and maybe never get over it, then you might want to go for the little bit of closure. But I mean, for an almost like acquaintance, maybe a little bit of a friend, I probably wouldn't. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
We
haven't been getting out much because of that. Matter of fact, I went to Ace yesterday just to get some stuff. But I mean, like, when this first started, I'm going to be real honest, I didn't wear my mask much. But over the last month or so, I've seen this affect different people I know that I considered healthy, and then some that wasn't so healthy. But anyway, and so I've gotten a lot pickier and wearing my mask more, and I have to wear it at work, so I've just a habit forming of wearing it. Mm-hmm. And me and Tammy didn't get out much before it started getting bad in our area. We still didn't get out because we just didn't want to get it. I mean, who wants to deal with it? And then a friend of ours got it, her and her husband, and they recovered, no problem. They were just sick as a dog for a couple of days, aches and pains, all that stuff. But who wants to go through that even,
Yeah.
Even you're going to come out on the other end. Who wants to go through that? Not sleeping, the inconvenience of it. You can't have your family around. I mean, I don't know. So I don't know. We truly did love both of our friends. One of them attended church with us, and they were missionaries, and we worked together in mission work. And I say they were missionaries. They were missionaries by the truest form, but they supported our mission work by making the babies for the kids and stuff like that. Miss, just to brag on her, I mean, Miss Jeanette Camp, the first lady that died the first morning. Anyway, she has made thousands, and when I say it, I mean it. Thousands of them little sock snowmen.
Mm-hmm.
And we've shipped them all over the world in Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes. And I have carried hundreds with me personally to Uganda to give out. Those pictures I had on Facebook with me in Uganda, giving them out to the kids in Uganda where we were at. And so she has her love and her love of serving spread globally, because in Operation Christmas Child, you don't really know necessarily where they're going. And so she done that for years, and we're still doing it. She had a bunch made up to go out this next year in Operation Christmas Child. Thousands. We used to send out 2,000 Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes a year at our church. And she made a snowman for every one of them.
Wow. That's really cool.
As soon as we would finish one year, she would start on the next year. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to buy propane.
So
here at the house, we got natural gas.
So are you guys leaning towards going or towards not going to the visitation?
We're leaning towards not going. And I agree with Truba Duo. I don't think that if she was here, she would tell us not to go.
Well, and that's what I was kind of thinking too. What would she expect you to come out?
Me and her son were friends. My only thing is she only had one son. Me and him he's a couple years older than me. We were band geeks. She was a band mom. I forgot to put that in her tribute to her. I didn't have her as a band mom. I guess that's why I forgot. But some of my older friends started posting that we lost 2 band moms in 2 days. And in the band, we had band moms. They were the people that went everywhere with us. Well, Miss Camp drove the buses, and she was always there. I come in on the tail end of her helping, so I really don't remember her much. But then Miss Hobbs, which is the lady that died the next day, was our band director's wife. And me and Tammy were still friends with her to the day. Actually, Miss Hobbs, the lady that died the second day, her niece is married to Tammy's nephew. And so not only were we friends, we had a connection through our niece and nephews. And so I've got to meet her brother. She's not from here. She's from over close to where my wife's from. So, it's just a lot. When you grow up in Hickville, Alabama, everybody knows everybody. And, you get to be close. She ran the radio station here, Miss Hobbs did, for 34 years, I think they said.
She's on a journey with Ginger said, can you do something for her son, like take him to dinner or something like that? That way you're kind of showing him that you care, but you're not there with all the crowd.
Yeah, I'm going to do something. Actually, I had thought about from our mission organization, because she had such an impact on our mission organization. I haven't decided if I want to do something. I hadn't really decided. I'm going to do something in her honor. So,
well, I think that personally, I think that's better than showing up at a visitation. I understand the point of a visitation, but that person's gone. So, she's likely in a much better place and probably doesn't really care if you're there or not. I mean, honestly,
she has told me more than once, and she's got our pastor to do her funeral, so I know it'll happen. She has told me and my wife more than once that she wanted church service at her funeral. In other words, she wanted a high pace, not a doom and gloom. She wanted people to experience church the way she would experience church. And so I think that is I think that's her main thing in life. And so I think us doing something that will carry on her name as far as her love for missions, I think that would mean a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't care if we hear about anybody else passing away in the next.
Yeah, exactly.
3, counting Nettie and them's little fur baby, and then my 2 friends. That was 3 days in a row.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy that you had 2 back to back.
Both connected to the band. That's 3 people connected to our school in the last 2 months. I mean, one was a principal. I didn't have him as a principal because me and him not much different in age, but our kids had him. And he was loved by everybody, but he actually died of this mess. The other 2 ladies was not related to what's going on. They had...
I thought the guy, I thought he had a heart attack or something.
Miss Camp had a heart attack.
Hmm.
The principal, our principal that everybody knew in this area that passed away, he died of this stuff going around.
Ah, I did not know that. And he was pretty young, wasn't he? Youngish.
Yeah. Yep. The principal, Mr. Richard, that passed away, I think they said he was 60, 59 or 60, fairly young. I call that young.
No, Troubadour, the kitty cat passed away yesterday.
Yep. I should have updated y'all. I told about that earlier.
Yeah.
But, Jack passed away, Nettie and them's fur baby cat, and me and Felix is guessing 11 to 12 years old. So
yeah, we were trying to remember, and but somewhere in that area.
Don't forget Jerry too. He's been sick.
Yeah, he has been. I haven't heard from Jerry today.
I haven't either. So
I'm gonna check
y'all pray for me and Tammy. They're inspecting the house tomorrow.
Yeah, I want that to go well.
We want that to go through. Once that goes through, me and Tammy, I'm gonna take off maybe some Fridays for sure, and may take off some other days so we can look. We've looked at 2 houses, didn't buy neither. We're really thinking we're gonna wind up with a mobile home, maybe a double wide. So, but we got to get out and go look. We can't expect them to come to us. So,
not very well at Artist on the Road.
What? Yeah, no, he don't.
Check his email. Not very well.
So, but anyway, we think we've got some land that we can buy. Actually, the land that we just sold last year to Dad, we can buy back some of that. He sold off some of it to my nephew, but we could buy some of that back. And I love the location, but I would have liked it better. I just ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, we could do that and be up and going pretty quick. With our business, I don't know how long we can stay in the camper because our vinyl has to be somewhat. It can't just be stored in an open barn. You know, the moisture would get it. So we got to have a place to put it, and there's not going to be enough room for us and Thomas and the boys and vinyl in the camper. So we're going to have to make some kind of arrangement. So we're wanting to try to get something we can just move straight into from here to there. Even if I have to buy a building or something. I have one building that we're taking with us. And we were hoping to buy a place that was set up that had a building and all, and we may yet, but
yeah, you never know what'll come up.
We love the newer mobile homes. They're built well.
Yeah.
And what we like about it is we could just always have to do is set it up and it'd be move-in ready. And that's sort of what we like. And, you know, we don't have to have this. You know, this don't mean nothing to us anymore. If you looked at our history of houses, we started downsizing houses a long time ago. Our progression of houses, we started out when we got married. We lived in a rented mobile home my uncle let us use. And then we built our first year we got married, we built about 1,100 square foot house, a new one. Dad built it. And Tammy's dad and brothers helped us all build it. And then we went from that to we built our second home, which is 1,600 square feet. We sold that place and bought our dream home, which was nearly 4,000 square feet. And then we realized that missions was something that we needed to get going on. We had run from and always said, oh, well, when we get the money, when we get the money. But finally, we gave in to the calling of doing mission work, which I believe everybody should do mission work. And it's just a different way everybody does it. But I believe that's everybody's calling to do mission work. But anyway, when we gave in to doing it and the level that I felt like that God wanted us to do it, we sold that place, lived in a borrowed home for a year, and then bought this place, which is 2,000 square feet, and now we're going to go down again, I think. So, since we've accepted that calling to do the mission work, we've really been downsizing. So what did I do?
Don't read the chat.
What?
Nothing. No, Artists on the Road. Does anybody ever work with someone who is a drama queen that likes to slam doors, stomp around, noisy shoes, thinks she's the only one who's busy and stressed? So I said,
Not like Allie McBeal.
I said that you did that all the time.
I'm not a drama queen.
No, I was just kidding.
I don't stomp my feet. I do think it's about me all the time, though.
Yeah, that is true. They're constantly stressed, and yeah.
I do get stressed out sometimes.
Sometimes it's
Y'all
like
just don't know.
everything.
If
don't.
I let y'all in on our group text, y'all would just quit watching probably.
I seriously thought I stressed a lot.
I will say this though, y'all in the chat. This Yahoo sitting beside me and the two that are not here get me through a lot of days. I want to say there's some days that behind the scenes that I just like, let's just
Don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those kind of days.
Yep.
And dealing with this house and all that. That's why my podcast has not been updated in 2 weeks. And it may be 2 more weeks before I upload anything else. But even that few minutes takes away from a million things I've got to do. So you can ask Felix. Usually when I used to get off the show, we'd sit around and talk, all of us, for an hour after the show.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, I gotta go. So, oh man. Drama queens are the worst, Linda Barker.
Please, no throat punching.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad we prevented somebody from getting hurt. That makes me feel better.
Oh. So does that count as our good deed for the day?
Yeah. Mark that one in the book.
Yeah. Saved someone from a massive throat punching.
Camping Therapy Miss Matt's RV review. Y'all have to go back and watch the first hour even. It was the very first hour. He had to go after the first hour. But and if y'all go over to his channel, thank him for being on our channel. So that was cool. So
you provide a public service.
I should get government funds for that.
Right. Oh.
I get to my doctor's appointment. I usually try to get there early. So now they've started my at the oncology at Bessemer. They schedule me the first one after lunch. So that way I get to go right in the door. But now I got there an hour early the last time. Somehow I messed up. And so I had to sit outside and wait on them to come back from lunch. So, which is no big deal. I always have something I can do in the car. If it ain't nothing but just relieve a little stress, watch YouTube videos or Facebook or call Tammy. Or I've been going to my doctor's, and usually me and Tammy goes together when I go to my doctor's in Birmingham because it's a 2-hour one-way trip, nerdy. And so Tammy usually goes with me. But here lately, with everything going on, they don't want many people in the waiting area. So I've been going by myself. So I just chillax. What did you tell you about those? What did you get those? I missed that.
K&R sent them to me. Kyle plays with them on their live stream, and they crack me up. It's just
that's hilarious,
funny, So he's always like doing this kind of stuff, and I got him in the mail yesterday. I almost forgot I was going to show him. I don't know. They're just funny.
I just don't know what the heck. Oh man, the Crockers just broke 100,000 subscribers.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah.
I think the last I paid any attention, they were at like 60 or something like that. Wow. So Artist on Road said that my little squirrel was chubby. If you'll notice, my new squirrel has his arms crossed because he's annoyed. And at this moment, he's looking right at Gary with his arms crossed. I don't know where I ran across that one. I think it was like on Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's the perfect squirrel right there.
So I think I'm going to make a donation to help.
Linda Barker has the little hands too. We start a little hand club. Oh.
So I think I'm going to go over to the people that we're raising this money for the veterans and make them a donation and trim my beard. What do y'all think?
Yes, trim the beard because it's driving you crazy. I think it looks fine.
It's terrible wearing a mask.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, I got to go. I got a million things to do. Not hardly a million, but a bunch.
Wait a minute. Let me drop a link. I wasn't prepared. I was playing with the tiny hand. Got RV Weekends coming up next, I believe. And it did look like that her thumbnail said they might be a little late.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that's what that meant, but it is scheduled. So there you go. There's your link.
I got a fingerprint on my glasses. I think I'm going to go back to contacts too. These glasses and I have not gotten along.
Right with the contacts. I'll have to get used to
I've
y'all.
only had glasses for a year.
Well, I've only been following you for like a month.
Y'all wouldn't know me without them, would you?
Right.
Looks like I'm squinting, don't it?
Oh. Okay. I got a headache. I got to go take some medicine.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe take a nap. I don't know.
All right, guys. Be good. We'll see you tonight. Journey.
No.
Journey with the Ginger. Journey with the Ginger. I've been watching too much Johnny's Journey.
Okay.
Journey with the Gingers. I'll see y'all tonight. Love you guys.